Hey guys, today we're taking a look at the new ban list that's going to be coming out for January next year. A lot of interesting things here. Usually when a ban list comes out, I like to talk about it, discuss it, go through some of the cards, maybe talk about, why they're getting banned or unbanned, and just, how it's going to affect the game. Again, a lot of interesting things happening in this ban list, and I'll kind of talk about what the ideas are behind it. So the only card that's being added to the forbidden list is Super Polymerization, currently at 1. A very powerful card in Shaydolls. I'm not sure if this is really aimed at Shaydolls. It could be because Shaydolls are getting more cards, but it's probably also more aimed at the heroes that are going to be coming out. The heroes are going to have a lot of really interesting power, and if they're able to use Super Poly, they'll be able to really abuse that. I don't know if it's completely necessary because it's kind of before the heroes come out. It's not going to hurt Shaydolls that much. But it's going to be a little bit to them. I still think they're going to be, a fine deck. This isn't going to change too much about what they're trying to do. But again, might be something just to get ready for heroes. And now they're also limiting Moralltech. So this is definitely pretty much too late. It doesn't really matter now because, Hat isn't as much of a deck because, people are focusing on the stronger deck types. This is really unfortunate because they're doing this because they don't want people to tech in Moralltech and use Sanctum and just use an artifact build in any deck that they want. So I can understand that, but I really wish they would have hit Sanctum because, now true artifacts don't have a lot of power. They're going to just have, a few things going on with them. Not going to be really great as a deck type. Moralltech won't be teched, obviously, into decks anymore, which is, kind of good in my opinion because it's kind of annoying just to have that as part of any deck type. But still, I feel like it's going to be annoying for pure artifacts. So one of the cards that's becoming limited that was banned for quite a while was Snatch Steal. This is a really interesting one. I feel like this is sort of a thing, to replace Super Polymerization because Snatch Steal, you can just use it to do the same thing as Super Poly, but it's a lot easier to deal with. You can MST it and all that stuff. So Snatch Steal isn't super powerful because of that fact. It's very easy to deal with. Generally, you'll have to use it as a second Mind Control. Mind Control is not used in every deck, but it is still a very powerful card. So there are going to be a lot of benefits to this card. It's searchable. You can use it in Monarchs and a bunch of other decks. A lot of decks, well, pretty much all decks could make use of this. But again, it's a lot more easier to deal with than, Change of Heart or Mind Control, like I was saying. So that's kind of the give and take there. Another way to deal with those very powerful boss monsters that you might want to just hold on to, which is, something really cool. It's nice to have other ways to deal with bosses outside of just destruction, which a lot of decks are protecting themselves from. And now another big one for this list is Honest is going to become semi-limited. This is going to be very huge for some of those weaker light decks. A lot of decks are going to benefit from this and no reason not to run, double Honest. I'm a little scared about this one just because it's going to give some decks a lot of power and a lot of consistency. Bujins are going to be crazy. They're going to have so much attack advantage. Going to be very difficult to deal with them. But the main decks aren't really light-based decks right now, so they're trying to bump up the light decks. We'll see how this plays out, but very scary just to look at right now. So another card that's going to semi-limited, which is pretty crazy, is Dark Hole. This is going to be very interesting to see because, in the lower tier of decks, Destruction is still very powerful. So some decks are going to be able to really abuse this. It's not going to, affect those higher tier decks as much, which I guess is why they're allowing it to be semi-limited. But still, decks like Yang Zings, Fire Kings, things that benefit from Destruction are going to have like basically 3 Regekis, which is just really, really crazy. Something to watch out for. So Darkstrike Fighter is also, not going to be forbidden anymore. This card was changed in its text. When the text was different, it was banned. But now that the text is, fine, it's not a powerful effect. Well, it's not, it's not a weak effect, but it's not an amazing effect. So it's a fine card. No reason that it should be banned. This will be a great card in some decks. I feel like Gimmick Puppets can run this easily with Black Salvo, can do a ton of damage. So there could be some cool things with this. And, it's nice to have other level 7 synchros outside of just, Black Rose. And then Goyo is also going to semi-limited. This is fine. Not a lot of decks can even run Goyo. The ones that do run Goyo usually run 1. Some of them might run 2. It depends on how they can swarm level 6s. But again, this is fine. Not a big deal. Goyo's effect isn't ridiculous compared to how it used to be. And now just the cards that are coming off the ban list completely. Gale, Blackwings Rejoice. Gale is an awesome card, and Blackwings are going to want to run 3, so this will be really nice for them. Looking for Blackwings just to be a stronger deck type in general. I'm a huge fan of this. Blackwings don't have, super powerful cards to begin with, so you might as well give them back what they probably need to be strong in general. And then Abyssgunde is going back to being off the list, which, this was kind of a weird decision, I think, when they made it. Mermails obviously were very strong, but not as much anymore. I feel like it's fine for them to have Abyssgunde because it's more of a situational card. Not every Mermails were running 3, so it's just, nice for them to have that access to that. So Reborn Tengu is also going off the ban list. I really agree with this because I feel like his effect, kind of leads into itself needing more cards. So only having 2 of this kind of sucks with how his effect works. So I agree with having 3 of this. And there's a few decks that can really abuse him to do some cool things, which will be cool to see. Reasoning also going off the ban list, fine with this. Not a lot of decks run this card, and I don't know if they'll even run 3. Not a broken card by any means. Same thing with Trasmigration Prophecy. Not a lot of decks will run this. Some decks, could use that recycling. It's kind of slow and just nice to get some of those cards back. I feel like this is fine for some decks. So that's it for the ban list. A lot of really cool things. A lot of stuff that I feel is definitely well deserved. Not too much stuff that I actually wanted to see. I was hoping for more cards to kind of go off the ban list that aren't as powerful anymore. But hopefully we'll see that in the future. There's still a lot of really cool things going on here, and I'm definitely excited to start building using these new cards. I'm excited for Blackwings, and any type of light deck is going to be very fun with Honest. But do let me know what you guys think of this ban list. If there's any cards you were mad about or any impressions you guys get, just let me know in the comments. I really want to hear what people are thinking with this new ban list going forward into the next year. But that's about it for me. As always, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later.